Welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be doing a Duolingo stock analysis. Now, as you can see the graph right here, it's been quite poor to own this stock recently. We peaked right up here in 542 bucks in middle of May last year. And ever since then, it hasn't really been that fun owning. So it's just been a ride downwards, and we can even see some drops. Now, if I make the graph a bit bigger by making each candle a day instead of an hour, we can see it is quite an interesting stock. It absolutely skyrocketed and then it has plummeted ever since. So we're almost at the lowest low back end of a 65. Well, not almost, because of course at 100, but still we are below 20% compared to earlier. Now, this doesn't really make sense with the beta, as the beta is only 1.59, and the beta, that is how volatile a stock is. The average beta of an index like the Nasdaq is 1. Looks like a bit higher beta might be useful for a company like this. But then again, the stock hasn't been on the exchange that long. As we scroll backwards, let me just make it a day again. It was first publicly traded back in, of course, 2021, so still it's not that long on the stock exchange either way. Now, if we look at the RSI, that is the relative strength index, and this is the momentum of a stock. We can see it hasn't really been fun ever since the peak up here. We've been trading in the lower RSI. Now that is between 50 and 30, and this shows that the stock momentum is negative, so it's going downwards and downwards and downwards. Of course, we see some peaks right around here where it explodes upwards on days like earnings, but then it just falls right back down. This means there is less more buyers and more sellers in the market and a lot more shorters in the market, and this is never a good thing when you're buying a stock to see it has been in the lower RSI for a while. And we also see it valuing out down here in the oversold, that is when it's below 30. Now, when it's down here, doesn't mean it's not going to fall anymore, but it's often more volatile down here. And it's the same is true in the overbought RSI when it's up here, like right here, when it's increasing rapidly all the way up to 89. Then again, it falls back down, so it's always more volatile above 70 and below 30. So in the upper RSI channel, we rarely see it. We see some spikes, and that's when it's between 50 and 70. That is when we have more buyers in the market. Now that has been true when it was rising. As you can see, it's the exact opposite. We're trading quite high for a while. So currently, the stock still has downwards momentum, and we can also see that on the death cross right here on the 23rd of December 2025. Now the company is relatively nice size at 4.82 billion. Now it looks like they made a ton of money here in Q3 of 2025, but there was a tax deferral, so don't get cheated by that. Now, if we look at their financials, we can see they have very, very few employees compared to how big the company is. They have a ton of cash on hand and virtually no debt. That is something we like quite a lot. Now, if we look at their valuations, we can see, let's just take 2024, the price earnings was 172, and in 2025 ending, it was 20.48, and still currently it is much lower. Now, I don't own any Duolingo stock, but at this valuations, I think it's actually a very, very cheap stock, as it is by far the biggest language app in the world. And if you don't know what Duolingo does, well, it's an app where you can learn languages, and they have over 130 million active users a month. Now, if we go into the statements here, the total revenue, how much it has increased from 2019, it was 70 million, and now it is a billion. It is absolutely crazy. Now, if I had to categorize Duolingo, I would put it in the Netflix or Spotify category. No, there are other things than Spotify and Netflix, but they are by far the largest. That is how I view Duolingo on language apps, and I think people are going to learn more and more languages in the future, as it is a trend we have been seeing. Now, if you look at how they earn their revenue, you can see here it's from subscription mostly. Then we have some advertising, Duolingo English tests, and in-app purchases is all rising quite rapidly, but definitely this subscription. And then, of course, when you fail a test, you lose a life in the app. So, of course, if you want to keep learning, you gotta subscribe. Now, where do they make their money? They make quite a lot in the United States, but in the rest of the world, they also earn a ton of money. This is something we like to see often in tech companies, like not like Duolingo because there are so few, but in tech or software companies, we see United States being like 90 to 80% of the revenue, but Duolingo is the rest of the world is huge, which is something we absolutely love to see here. Now, if we look at the seasonals, we can see some years are absolutely amazing, like 2023 up 219%. Then we have 2024 up 50%. Then we have some poor years, like last year down by 46%, and 2026 as well down by 41%. So quite poor years and some quite great years. So it is a high flyer and a low faller. So be quite careful in stocks like this. Now, if we go down and look at the technicals, for the day the technicals are a sell, for the week they're a sell, and for the month technicals there are still a sell. The moving averages there is strong sell all the way through. So overall, I wouldn't buy this stock right now simply because the momentum is downward going. If I were to buy this stock, I would much rather see some momentum going sideways for a bit longer than it has right now. Currently, actually seeing some quite nice sideways momentum, but I want to see it going sideways and then upwards a bit for actually a while, because I need to see just go up for quite a while. Not a lot, just maybe 0.2 or 0.3 ish a day for maybe a month, maybe even two before I will get into this stock. But when it is in an uptrend, I'm definitely gonna pick this stock up because I think it's gonna be great a long hold into the future. Now, if we look at analyst rating on this stock, we can see something quite interesting. We have three strong hold, one buy, and not strong buy, not strong hold. Three strong buy, one hold, and 20 hold, and one strong sell. That is quite interesting given how niche a company this is, and they're almost a monopoly. I think it's quite interesting we have so many hold and not more buys at this level. Now, if you look at their annual EPS, you can see as well, estimating slowly but surely, and again, it was because of the tax deferral, so don't take that into consideration. But overall, still slowly but surely guiding more and more. That is something we love to see, and it's the exact same in the revenue down here, just more and more and more. So overall, it is just lovely to see. Now, my price estimations for Duolingo in the future, by the end of the year, it would not surprise me if Duolingo was in 140, maybe 160. So that's 60% up from where I'm sitting currently. So you might be wondering, why won't I buy it? That is because I'm a technical investor. So I use technicals for most of my investments, and currently the technicals are against me. I would rather buy it at a bit more expensive than maybe buying it now and ending up down in 80. I'm waiting a bit, but it is a very interesting stock. If you like this video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And of course, remember, this isn't financial advice, it's pure entertainment and educational purposes. But if you want to see more videos like this, please leave the company terms analyzed in the comment section below.